Aloha, Jeff Stabile here, your friendly neighborhood diving wonk from Hawaii. Last time we talked, we learned about going in the water safely, feet first, when you're going into a new pool for the first time, or for beginning divers, how to begin going into the water and holding their bodies the right way. Today I told you that we would be talking about front jumps, basically pushing off the side of the pool and going into the water the right way, feet first, or jumping off the diving board, pushing off the diving board in order to go in feet first the right way. The first thing divers need to do when getting ready to do jumps is get their body position straight. So here we see me demonstrating a hollow position. Chest in, hips under, shoulders on top of hips, hips on top of knees, knees on top of ankles. Here's it from the forward view. You can see the shoulders are relaxed and down, head is neutral. That's the kind of position we're looking for. Here I model an up, bend, push. I'm keeping my body still and coming up on the toes. My arms are down at my side so I can focus on my leg action, my body position. Up on the toes, stay on the toes while I drop to a 90-degree angle with my thighs and calves. Push down against the surface, the ground, with the balls of my feet, keeping my body still. Here we see the same action from the forward view, up, bend, push. Notice that after the diver comes up on the toes, when they're bending the knees for the squat and dropping, they're staying up on the toes. The heels stay off the ground as they extend. Notice the shoulders stay down as well as the jump happens. Now we're taking a look at how a diver comes up on the toes. Arms are up over the head. They should be straight over the head, but I'm not flexible enough for that. Diver comes up on the tiptoes, maintaining the hollow position the entire time. From the forward view, up on the tiptoes, staying in the hollow position. Arms extended over the head all the way through. Let's take a look now at the diver coming up and dropping. So notice the diver goes up on the tiptoes, staying in the hollow position, drops the knees and hips to a bent position so that the thighs and the calves make about a 90-degree angle, and you're staying up on the tiptoes as you're doing this. Looking at the up and drop from the forward view now. Notice that when the diver is standing, they've got their feet making a little tripod with their toes apart and their heels together. Diver comes up on the toes. When they bend the knees, you'll see that the knees track out over the toes, away from each other to make a more stable pushing environment. Now we see a diver doing the up, bend, push, jump. Up on the toes, drop, and pop. Don't make fun of me because I can't jump that high. I don't have many fast twitch muscle fibers in me. Dropping to 90, pushing through the ankles and toes, jumping up into the air, leaving the body still. Here it is from the forward view, up on the toes, bend, push. And notice the upper body is not helping there, and I'm not pulling my body up. I'm just going up on the toes, bending the knees, pushing down against the ground, against the surface, in order to push and extend my shoulders to my ears to make a nice body line as I jump in the air. Now we're adding a circling action. We go up on the toes and drop, then circle the arms all the way over that wall, still in that hollow position, in that squat position. Down into the squat, arms are still, arms then start circling all the way through and do their complete circling action to overhead while your diver is still down in the hollow position. Seeing it here from the front, drop, circle. I don't have that flexible shoulder, so you see a little bit of weird arm bend on that, but dropping down, arms are still, then the arms do the circling action while you're still in the squat. Once the arms are over the head, you could stand up at that point. And now we're on to the up, drop, circle, jump. Up, drop, circle, jump. Okay, and slowly go up on the toes, arms stay still. Start dropping your squat with your arms staying high, doing a little drifting. Then the arms come all the way through over your head before you do the extension. From the front view, up, drop, circle, jump. Notice the separation of the up and the drop before the real circling action starts. Then the finish of the circle before the legs extend. Now here we have a pushing jump with the arms down at the sides. This allows the diver to focus on the pushing action in the body position. Up on the toes, staying on the toes while you drop and push, maintaining your body line while you push down against the surface for the jump. Notice the shoulders staying still all the way through, not pulling up or forward. Here we see an up, bend, push arms overhead front jump. Notice that the diver goes up on the toes, just like we saw in the dry land example of this. Drops to the 90-degree angle with the thighs and the calves, keeps the body still, pushes and extends against the gutter in order to jump into the air. Maintains a nice deep line like the earlier stuff that we've seen. Here's an arms overhead pushing front jump from the 1-meter board. Notice that when the diver goes up on the toes and bends the knees, the board actually comes up. He's unloading the board. And then when the diver straightens out the legs and pushes down against the board, that is when the board goes down. Hopefully we see the legs get all the way straight and the arms all the way overhead at the bottom of the depression of the board, and then the board pushes the diver up into the air. Now up to the 3-meter for the same jump. This is really good for divers to learn how to maintain their positions longer in the air as they drop further down into the water from 3 meters instead of 1 meters. Pushing against the board, letting the board push the body up, maintaining a motionless body in the air, stretching the body as long as possible all the way through the flight. Here's a pressing jump from the side of the pool. Up on the toes, drop, circle, and jump. These could also be done off of a low platform. Notice the diver goes up on the toes, leaving the arms up, dropping the knees and hips first, then circling the arms through over the head, then pushing, extending through the legs. Onto the springboard, we notice the diver starts with the arms over the head. That's different from the side of the pool. A couple of reasons for that. First off, on the side of the pool there is no downward spring and upward spring from the board, so not enough time for the arms to come all the way through and get up over the head. The springboard allows you more time as you squat and push the board down to get the arms through before the board starts to recoil. Now you have a 3-meter front jump with the press. The other reason the arms start up over the head is that's where you'll be coming out of your hurdle position, dropping down to the end of the board with your arms extended up over your head, ready for the drop down into the press. So it's a good idea to start your springboard standing jumps when you're circling with the arms over the head in order to get that dynamic of pressing all the way through in a full circling action. Once divers feel comfortable pushing to straight positions and maintaining their positions through the air and through the flight, they can move on to tuck and pike, as we're seeing here. This is forward jump on 1 meter, standing pushing. Notice that the body gets all the way to the straight position first. This is why you should do front jumps straight before coming into tucks or pikes, and then comes into the tuck and pike. When we add the press, we see the same dynamic. You'll see the diver go up and circle all the way over the head and extend. And once they finish extending, then they come into the tuck or the pike. It's easier to do when you have the circle because you have a little bit more momentum and height. You're getting it done all the way through and up, extended to straight, and then breaking into the tuck, coming back out of the tuck. Notice the arms are overhead all the way through the entry. Some coaches will have divers put their arms down at the bottom of jumps. I don't see a point to that. The reason we do jumps is to be able to do takeoffs into your dive, so you want to have your arms over your head for a good position on the start. And it's a lot easier to balance with the arms over the head going through the water and maintain a good position so that you don't get hurt. And it's a little more accurate, so I like seeing the arms stay over the head all the way through. Okay, so we've seen our front jump tuck off the 1 meter pushing and pressing, and now we're seeing pressing off 3 meter. We saw pushing, we're seeing pressing on 3 meter. As we've seen earlier, you can see how the board comes up when the diver breaks the knees and unloads the board, and then gets ready to load the board again and push in order to get up in the air as high as possible before coming into the tuck or pike. That's a really nice thing to remember, that you're not trying to push down against the board too early. You got to bend your knees first and then push against the board. And as we see the pike dives, pike jumps, we'll see exactly the same thing. The extension to straight before coming into the position, the loading and unloading and reloading of the board as you come up, bend, and push, or as you up, press, and push. Going into your position, coming back out to a nice vertical stretched line over your head. So hopefully this tutorial has helped you figure out how to do some good pushing front jump actions, pushing and pressing standing jumps. In our next tutorial, we'll be working on learning how to maintain vertical lines through multiple jumps and ranges of motion. So we'll be seeing trampoline exercises that are going to help you out to be able to jump up and down over and over with different arm movements and patterns. And also we will see in a future tutorial multiple bouncing on the end of the board in order to do the same thing. Until then, thanks for watching and happy diving. Hope this was helpful. Aloha.